You guys, good Monday morning. Instagram filters, hands down for the win. I love this one. I really want these freckles. I posted this before, but I'm going to post again. If anyone knows where I can get freckles like this tattooed on my face, please send me the information because I love them. I want it to look natural like this, you know? Mind you, I do have a bit of makeup on, but I don't wear foundation anymore. I just put on blush. But I love this. And I don't know if I could do it with the pencil to make it look this good, but I do know that places offer it, and I would love to get in touch with those places, whether it's permanent or non-permanent, just to see how I love it. I need a change. I need a change without it being like a facelift, you know? Now, before anyone wants to give me heck for saying you're driving with your thing, and here's cops that are driving by right now, so if anyone wants to give me heck, okay, for talking into the phone while I'm driving, and with the cop right in front of me, VPD, my hands are hands free, okay? So, and I'm driving through Stanley Park. Why am I driving through Stanley Park? Oh, well, I'm moving in a few months, so, okay. When I come on Instagram, I talk to people like they know my life, because it's mostly like people that, you know, I've grown up with. But anyways, I'm moving out of downtown at the end of March, moving out of the country in August. Anyways, so if you hear me talking about moving, yeah, because I'm going to be moving twice, literally. Going through Stanley Park, I talk about this on my TikTok, and I've been getting so many people messaging me, how do you make money on TikTok? I do a lot of TikTok lives, and there's ways for Canadians to make money on TikTok, so don't be fooled by when people say you can't make money on TikTok, okay? But the thing is, I've spent a lot of time to research and to figure it out, and to kind of you know, get in touch with people that could perhaps give me a hand with that. And not because I'm trying to be some sort of influencer, but because I'm just curious, how come, you know, why the Americans get it so easy? People can just post videos bitching about stuff in the States, and they get paid for their views and stuff, and we're sitting here scrambling, making real videos, actually working, and we don't get paid at all. It's ridiculous. Anyways, definitely the ADHD in me that made me go, you know, spend hours on the internet, months, days, years. The times I wouldn't post and I would go on social media, it's because I was figuring out how other people are doing it, what they're doing, just being motivated by it, being you know, when I'm ready to do it, this is how I'm going to do it. So, I mean, if you just hop on there and you know, can make it, congratulations. For me, it's a bit different. I think my brain just works a bit different. I'm a bit hesitant initially. Anyways, that's besides the point why I came on here. I didn't come on here to kind of coach people how to fucking make money on social media. Although that would be a good job. TikTok has asked me if I want to become a creator, and manage other creators, a manager of creators, I guess you could say, but I don't have time. And, you know, could be something that I would consider in the future. And yes, TikTok will reach out to you if they see that you're doing the things, even with okay, ADHD brain totally went off on a tangent. Okay. Part of the reason that I came on here, actually the main reason that I came on here is it's Monday, and I was hoping the weather would be a lot nicer. I do my drives through Stanley Park because, well, you know, I mean, it's gorgeous out here, you know. These Instagram videos can only be a minute, I think, long, or yeah, a minute. So when this minute is up, I'm going to reverse the camera and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. But you know, my favorite part about Vancouver is Stanley Park, and I don't know if anyone remembers. I used to, back in the day when I had the truck, would come through Stanley Park and would videotape it every day. It's just so nice, you know. When the weather is nice, it's even nicer, but this will do. I had a rut with my mental health a few weeks ago, and I shared it on my TikTok, which got a lot of momentum. I've yet to spill it here on Instagram, but I think I'm going to do it right now. I mean, if this doesn't scream, I live in Vancouver, how many of these have we seen? Boys! I got places to be, man. Geez. Literally been sitting here for a few minutes. Oh my God. Okay, so here we go. This is like the view that I, see. And I mean, it's just so beautiful. Stanley Park really is like the gem of Vancouver. And like, do I love Vancouver? I mean, I had this conversation with my daughter the other day. Of course I love Vancouver. Like, the scenery, the people, I could live without. I mean, if we went through a Walking Dead apocalyptic type thing, I mean, would I miss the people? Can I be honest? No. I mean, look, it's dead right now and I'm loving it. Like, this is great. I'm thriving. Like, my pulse is radiating, Like, as soon as I see a human being, I'm like, oh, God. But, I mean, like, this park just encompasses everything that Vancouver is. The mountains, the water, the downtown core, which you can see from the other side, which is one of my favorite views. The abundance of activities, got to make your way through if you're not from Vancouver. It's an amazing place. Okay, so now I'm driving through. There's just so much damn construction. As I go through the construction sites and I see what's happening, it's like they are taking out the trees. That's kind of sad. Anyways, another tangent. I was not on here to talk about Stanley Park or how to make money on TikTok. My mental health. So I'm moving and I cannot be more excited to move. I've been planning this for many, many years. Then when I found the location and I settled on it, another 2 years in the making. It's so reflective of how I am as a person. Like, I sit there and I dwell on things for so long and then I take the plunge, aka my social media. But my mental health took a deep dive last 2 weeks ago and it was pretty bad. Gotta explain it in the next video. Yeah, now typically I'm like such a manic type personality, like very hyper, very looking forward to things, very positive. Throughout very negative situations, I always stay positive. I mean, it's the best thing you can do. Like, I just never get too negative. Because, I mean, I've gone through life enough, 40 years old. You realize that you can get out of things. Nothing lasts forever, right? But I did have a bit of a, hurdle in my mental health where, I just could not get out of bed for a few days, And everything just seemed like there was just no light at the end of the tunnel. It just seemed like it was like a dead end, And mind you, I'm a mom. I'm a single mom. I live 40 minutes away from my family, I mean, for people that are like, oh, that's close. It's close. But my family also has a life. Like, they're not at my beck and call. They're not my maids, right? So I'm a single mom. Yeah, and it was tough because I just laid there and I would get up, make food for Mercedes. She would go to school. We live close to her school, so she walks. And then just like a potato. I didn't even go to the gym. Actually, today's gonna be my first day back. No, I've gone back a couple times, but really getting back into the routine. And then because I didn't go to the gym, my entire mind shift changed. I'm like, oh, you know what? This is so great. Do I even need to go to the gym? But yes, you do. Because what happens is the longer that you've been training, the longer you can stay out. For example, you want to take a 1 week vacation and you've been working out for 10 years. These are just figurative timelines. No, your body won't change. You've been working out for 20 years. You can take 2 weeks off and your body won't change. But the longer you take off, your body starts to change. And I can notice that mine's getting a little bit more fluffy. I still have the abs, but fluffy abs. Anyways, it just made me realize why my routine is so important to me and why I need to be consistent in it all the time. Because even when I'm sick and my nose is dripping wet and I'm just dying, I still make it to go to the gym. Now, I might not do heavy leg days, but I definitely just move my body because you feel better. You feel better, you can get a better sleep, instead of tossing and turning when you're sick. The thing panting in the back, by the way, is Dexter, my dog. I'm just about to take him for a walk, so... Dexter, bud, are you okay? Anyways, I want to talk about the mental health part because I feel like we don't talk about it enough. And when I go on my TikTok and I talk about it, I get so much praise from it. I'm not saying that we need to make Instagram like TikTok. I'm just saying that people appreciate when you speak up about things like that, right? And even me being in that rut that I was in, I didn't reach out to anybody. I just kind of rode through, so to speak. Now, I consider myself a pretty tough chick, so I'm kind of proud of myself for getting it through, but now I have so much more empathy for people that, you know, are stuck in ruts like that, so to speak, for like months, years. It sucks. And, I mean, we have a huge life change to look forward to, me and my daughter, so, it's easier to get out. You know, we have a big goal, and usually that's what I do. When I feel like I'm getting into those spaces, I give myself huge, sometimes unrealistic, but, you know, still attainable, if that makes sense, goals. Unrealistic being like, what does it pertain to my life? Like, it just kind of pops out of nowhere, but it's still attainable. But I think it needs to be spoken about a whole lot more. Way more than... Now, if you're one of those people like, I don't suffer from this, or I don't suffer from this as much, or as bad, or, you know, I always keep myself busy, I'm out with my friends drinking, or like, you know, I got 6 kids, and like, you know, I'm a mom of like this now and that now, and so I keep myself busy. Congratulations. No, seriously. Congratulations. But if you're not, it sucks. And so there just needs to be more talk of it. And as we get older, there's things that happen in our lives that just can ultimately like alter our perception of things a lot more than it did when we were younger. So like we have family members passing away, people that we've known our entire lives starting to pass away, pets pass. Since January to now, I've seen so many people's pets pass away. Mind you, I had my dog pass away in 2017, my big one. So trust me, I know that feeling. It's just, it needs to be just talked about a lot more than it is. And I'm not thinking about the people that are like, oh yeah, my social life is great. I go to the gym. I have my kids, my husband. No, seriously. But I'm more concerned about people like my kid, my own kid, her friends. You know, how are they growing up talking about it? Like, I don't really hear Mercedes come home and talk about, my daughter Mercedes, come home and talk about mental health. I mean, mommy, we learned about sex today. We learned about this today. We learned about that today. I've already taught her all that stuff. I've taught her about the mental health stuff as well. But like, she doesn't come home and say, the teacher talked to us about this, about that. Like, why is it being taught so late? Why is there not more of a discussion around it? You know, we all experience it. We all go through it. And like, you know, I don't know if Instagram is sensitive with the word suicide or unalive, whatever they say, but like, it's a huge deal and it's becoming more and more. But yeah, that's just a question. It could be rhetorical. You know, if you have answers, great, cool, shoot them at me. Like, I don't know. But from myself, I have to change my environment because it's just becoming a little bit more toxic in Vancouver in general. Weather-wise, first of all, let me tell you, my parents came to this country when they were 28 and 38, I believe. So why me at 40 cannot make a decision for myself to move to another country should I want to, you know? And I will. And I'll always remain a Canadian citizen and I'll always come back. But part of the reason, and it's going to sound funny, is the weather. I just can't do this weather all the time, you know? I can't. I don't know how I managed before, and maybe that's why I've had issues such as like my addiction pop up in many different forms and ways and so many different things. Like, you know, maybe my brain works different. So the ADHD brain just, you know, alters things that like normal people can process. I'm still always going to be the type of person that searches for answers, but like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always going to be curious and wonder, but I also want to live my life. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because I don't want to say like, I don't care why. Of course, I'll always care why. I'll always be searching for those whys, but like, I also want to live at the same time. So it's time for me to make a change that's going to help me. And like, I encourage anyone that faces that to do the same. And I'm not talking just about like you're depressed and you're laying in bed, because that ain't me. But like, if you're unhappy in a situation, just change it. And like, me and my brother get into these tiffs all the time where he's telling me, he's like, oh yeah, it's so easy for you. You're a girl. You get things easy. But people that have known me for a long time will know this about me. I don't do things the conventional way. Ever. I don't know why. ADHD brain, not neurodivergent brain. I don't know. I'm just stubborn. Defiant. I don't know. But I don't do things conventionally. So I don't do things conventionally. So things actually come to me a lot harder. A lot harder. And I'm not putting on a facade. I'm not pretending everything's good, like I'm rich or like, like I have financial struggles as well. I'm not good with my money. I make so much money and then I spend it all because like I grew up dirt poor. So like, like I want to have nice, expensive things. And sometimes I get into these ruts where like I can't do anything, like I'm still learning. And part of it is because I don't do things conventionally, So I want to just be honest about that. I don't want people to think that I live this glamorous freaking life. Like, what you might see is me being positive about it, being like, things are always going to change. But I'm certainly not where I want to be. And that's why I'm always like making a goal and going for it, because there's so much more that I want. Like, I'm not happy just settling where I am. And I don't need no man because I got plans and I got goals, like friends. And yeah, the reason that I'm so gung-ho about sharing this is because like we're not getting any younger, like people around us are starting to die, like being honest, our parents are getting older, like I'm 40 and I had this weird moment where I was like, okay, I know people that are 60s and 70s that are starting to pass away now. I hope that I live to be 100, but like, that's like another 20, 30 years for me, So you really have to prioritize what's important in your life. And am I preaching to the choir? Abso-fucking-lutely I am. You guys have heard this many times before. If you're my age, you've heard this billions of times before. But I am here to just repeat it in case you have forgotten as your Monday reminder. Do what fucking makes you happy. Just fucking do it. Because you will not regret that when you're about to die. Okay? I'm just getting prepped to go take the dog for a walk, so I have to tuck in my hair. And like Dexter is just panting like a maniac. But anyways, if you are struggling again, I'm going to keep repeating this, because I just imagine if my daughter is older and if she's struggling and she just needs to hear someone say it, I'm going to do that because that's what I think of. Reach out to me, please. I might not be able to be the one to help, but I have resources. I want to just have resources. I've always been the type of person where I collected like people and things and places that I knew that I could send people to should they ask me questions, because I'm not a doctor, nor can I diagnose. I just know that it's tough, but you have to realize that it will pass. And it's so tough when you're in it because there's no light. You're like, where the fuck's this light? But you will get out of it. Create a goal for yourself. As I'm fucking realistic as it can be. Just do it. And the filter fell off and I'm like, what happened to my face? But I realized that my freckles are fake. Okay, that's not really how I look. Calm down, Nos. But that's all I really want to say. I just kind of want to remind myself. I feel like if I repeat things out loud, it reminds myself. And even if no one listens to this, at least I said it out and I put it out into the world, So this is part of being spiritually fit for me, is to really like reevaluate what I want, how I perceive things, how I look at things, because my spiritual fitness really affects how I mentally behave and how I emotionally react, and then essentially how I physically am, because like that time that I was in the bed, I didn't get out. All 4 quadrants were affected. And I feel like to be really fit, if I really want to encompass that, it's got to be all 4 quadrants. I try to make it balanced. Doesn't always, like, does balance even exist? Yeah, as I was saying, does balance really exist? Because if you can show me a balanced human being and we put a camera on them 24/7 for a year, you show me balance. Just show it to me. I'd love to see it because I like to learn things from people, so I need to see it. But what I have learned from the strongest people is that it's okay to ask for help and it's okay to admit when you're struggling. That's what I've learned from the strongest fucking people that I know. And my life is not perfect. My life is far from fucking perfect. I'm a single mom. Let's just throw it out there. So to those like, oh, she thinks that she's so perfect. I don't. And I have body image issues. And I wear a fucking filter when I'm talking to my camera that I must look like a freaking crazy person because, I'm not perfect and I don't claim to be perfect. But one thing that I know that I'm strong in, gotta wait for the next video. Damn. One thing that I know that I'm absolutely strong in is that I can speak. I've never been afraid of fucking speaking. I've been getting in shit since elementary school because I would go tell this person and that person, like, you guys were talking about each other. And I would get iced out. I dodged a bullet with those people, you know? Because how the fuck are you going to be talking about your friend behind her back for everybody to hear? Like, it's okay if you, like, amongst yourselves and you're a group of females and you're just venting, but you're talking about shit about people that you claim to be your friends for other human beings to hear, and then you all pretend face to face that now we're like a strong unit. No, people are laughing at you. And now I can see that. So I'm actually so proud of myself for being able to speak, you know? And people are like, yeah, I'm loud, I talk a lot. Yeah, but you don't speak. You just are mumbling. You're just a loud mumbler because you don't make any sense when you speak, you know? But yeah, those lessons have taught me so much because now, if you realize, part of my life is that no one knows what's going on with me because I made sure that I picked such good fucking people in my life that no one says jack shit about what I'm doing, you know? Like, my life is so private. Like, it stays amongst who I tell. Whereas, like, had I, you know, had different friends throughout my life, I don't think that would have been the issue. Because everyone's business is out there. And I'm not saying I'm leading some secret life, but, like, it's not none of anyone's freaking business what you're doing, what you're eating, you know? Unless you want to share it. And that's up to you only. So I chose to share this. I chose to share that I struggle mentally. I chose to share that if I'm strong talking and that comes across as cockier, that I think my life is perfect. I don't know if the issue is me or you, but you're not ever alone. And if you need some resources, please reach out to me. Anyways, whew, that got heated at the end, right? I am going to go walk Dexter. I'm going to go to the gym. I am going to repair the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, you know? And my girlfriend tells me, one of my best friend tells me, she's like, you need to have, like, a podcast, girl. You need to revamp that podcast because you are so good at talking for a long period of time. And I'm like, shit. I hope I can keep you guys engaged for that period of time. But if you are struggling, I'm going to say this one last time. If you are struggling with anything and you need help with anything, please feel free to reach out to me. And I might not be able to help, but I will point you in the direction of someone to help because I don't want to see anyone that I know or just anyone in general having to struggle and feel like they're alone. Because you're never, never alone. With that being said, happy Monday and go get them.